It's always so weird right before I start it. I don't know why. It's almost like this. It's like, oh God, there's so much pressure. Like it's not
Like,
live.
where do I look at? Do I need to look somewhere?
Do I look at the light? Look at the
Yeah.
light. Oh my gosh, the light. It's so bright. All right, you ready? Here we go. Hey guys, welcome to the Made in Sims podcast, a place where we interview people that were made in Sims, make things in Sims, and helps us make Sims who it is today. I'm here with Derek Smith, the general manager of the Hickory Pit in Sims, Alabama. And so we're going to jump into this. Thank you for being on the podcast with me today, man.
Thanks for having me.
So before we got rolling, talking a little bit about the Hickory Pit. The Hickory Pit to me is like, it's a landmark in Sims.
Oh, absolutely.
Everybody knows where the Hickory Pit is, like located up here, 98, and it's kind of one of those places where people come to meet. It's to me, it's like a Sims tradition, and if I'm not mistaken, I think that might be like, is that one of y'all's slogans? Or
Yes,
something?
yes, because
Okay.
it is a tradition. People come there breakfast, lunch, dinner.
For sure.
I mean, almost every single day of the week.
Yeah.
It's just amazing. You get to see all these customers. You get to know them. You get to know their backstories. I mean, they're family.
Yeah.
They're family.
So to me, like Sims, like, and I just think through parts of my life where growing up, coming to the Hickory Pit, meeting my wife, us coming to a date at the Hickory Pit, like to now bringing my kids in the Hickory Pit, it's kind of one of those things where it's been part of our lives and like every day and who we are. So I wanted to ask a little bit about you and yourself and how you ended up at the Hickory Pit. How did you become the general manager of the Hickory Pit?
Well, me and Brandon have known each other for over 20 years. We met when we were both managers at McDonald's eons ago. And he decided to get out of the food business for a little time and do a little stuff on his own. And I went to go try to do stuff on mine as well. I went to University of South Alabama, graduated in 2010 with a chemical engineering degree. Food was really not there. I mean, it wasn't in the back of my mind. That's just everything that I'd worked. I stayed in the food business to put food on the table and pay the bills for my family. And when Brandon decided to lease the old Hickory Pit building from Daryl and Miss Shirley Pritchett, he called me up and said, look, man, I want you to come look at this place. You know, I think I'm about to invest in, want to do my own business, something that he wanted to do for the longest time on his own restaurant. And so I met him up there, met Miss Shirley. I mean, great place, has really good background of customers. And about 6 months after he opened, I came on. And at first, it was just kind of like, I want you here to kind of like, to back me up, this, that, and the other, to help me run certain parts of the business. And before long, it was just first at night, and then it was during the day, some mornings, and it got to be where it was an all-day thing. And he went on to be in the politic area, do his service community, and I went on to running his business for him.
That's awesome. You've done an awesome job, an outstanding job.
Oh, well, thank you. It's hard work, blood, sweat, and tears, just like Brandon. We're in it together.
That's right. That's awesome. So one of our coolest memories that I have of me and you together, we've spent a lot of time together with the Sims Chamber of Commerce.
Oh, yeah.
But one of the coolest projects that we've been involved with our company is we did the Back the Blue project, to where we done the trash cans through A1 McDuffie Sanitation. We done the trash cans with the blue lids that we were able to give a donation to law enforcement. I reached out to you guys, and I remember asking you and Brandon, hey, roughly how much is this going to cost? And you guys donated the breakfast.
Yeah.
So we get there, and we had made a check for the donation for the family of the fallen after the 2 police officers were taken in the city of Mobile. And little did I know, once we got there, you guys were matching the donation.
Oh,
and
yeah. Brandon's very given to the community and to everybody.
So, and it's a heartbeat from him to you through the Hickory Pit. I believe it's instilled into y'all's business, to the way that y'all run your business, the people that's in there. Amber has been there forever.
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of one of those things where, I said this a long time ago. If I ever fell down on my luck anywhere, I wanted to be in Sims, Alabama. And the reason why is, so back when Mr. Troy, before he passed away at Sims Auto Parts, I said, I could be homeless and not have a meal, and I know I could get a meal at the Hickory Pit. And I know that Derek and Brandon would take care of me.
Oh, yeah.
I know that if my car was broke, I could go speak to Mr. Troy. I could go up to Sims Auto Parts, and you know what I mean? Like, this is a community where if they believe in you and they believe in what you got, it's a network, and really more than a network, to me, it's a family.
It is. I mean, this whole community is family. You see so many people in various different events. I mean, the stuff that the chamber puts on, the luncheons. You run into them at Walmart. You run into them in Winn-Dixie. The hairstylist around town, because my wife goes right down from the Hickory Pit. So you see people in there, and they're like, "Oh, you're the person who runs the Hickory Pit. Oh, yeah. How's Mr. Mayor doing? How's Mr. Van Hook doing? This, that." And me and Brandon have been together so long, everybody thinks we're brothers.
Right.
Are you not his brother? No. We've just been, family friends for ages, ever since right out of high school.
Right.
So, I mean, he graduated from MGM. I graduated from Baker.
Yeah.
In all sense, we should be rivals.
For sure. Yeah. So, the question I had was, going to Baker, talking about school. Growing up, did you ever see yourself running a company the way that you're helping run the Hickory Pit?
Absolutely not. Yeah. Absolutely. Growing up, I was probably one of the shyest redheads that got into everything. I could probably blow up a building before build it. But as you grow, you just kind of progress. You mature. Yeah. And whenever I got into working in the public, everybody's seeing who I was. I was the redhead up at McDonald's. I was the little freckled person that worked up at Del Champs. That's an old name. But, they all recognized me, not just because I'm over 6 feet tall. But, I'm just a recognizable figure. And everybody talked to me, and I talked to them. And that's where you learn it from, is from interacting with people, from talking to people. Yeah. It's real fun.
Right.
I just enjoy that part of it.
Right. So if someone's watching the podcast and they're thinking about starting a business, running a business, being part of a business, how important is it, the people aspect of what you do?
Oh, you got to be a people person. It's not necessarily trying to please them, but you got to embrace the good stuff, the bad stuff, the stuff that may go wrong. But you got to be a people person.
Yeah.
You got to know how to talk to people in general.
Right. From top to bottom, from when they walk into work to when they walk in as a customer, seeing them in the community, same stuff you were talking about.
Right. And see, we've been so blessed with the crew that we have. They've put in a lot of hours.
Right.
They work their tails off to make the Hickory Pit what it is today.
Oh, for sure. People do not understand what it takes to make a business go round.
It's a lot of time, a lot of effort.
How hard has it been the past couple of years?
The past couple of years, when the original shutdown, we did not know what was going to happen. And thankfully for the community, they reached out to us, and we were so blessed. Our lobby closed down. It was supposed to be a couple weeks turned to 2 months, 2 months turned to 6 months. When we finally opened up, it was only half. But by that time, a lot of people still did not want to get out to eat.
Right.
Our to-go orders, drive-through orders, boy, it skyrocketed. That was felt around the industry as a whole. Everybody started getting takeout.
Right.
Let's call Grubhub, Dapper Deliveries, Waiter, all them. And we fed into it to keep our sales. And it's just taken off. To the point now where you can hardly find takeout, styrofoam containers, plasticware, straws. There's a cup shortage. We can't find any big cups right now. It's just, and it happens in waves. Right. At the beginning of it, it was meat products and pork and chicken, shortages on that. And now it's shortages on plastic and styrofoam products. It's just, it's a constant roller coaster.
Right.
Trying to deal with it all.
Right. So I can honestly say from the perspective of owning a business, running a business here in Sims, in general, I thought it was difficult managing a company before the pandemic. And now it was kind of like month by month, week by week, year by year. Mm-hmm. Now it's like day by day, hour by hour.
Absolutely.
You're kind of waiting on a phone call. You think you have a full staff, and the next thing you know, you get a phone call and 3 people's out.
Right, exactly. And that's, right now, we've had a few employees, and not necessarily the employees, but someone in their family had come down with COVID. So everybody has to quarantine.
Right.
And so whenever that happens, at one point in time, I had 3 employees out. I mean, during the thick of the stuff. And it was so difficult to try to find crew, and thank the Lord that my crew and my employees, our employees, stepped up. It's like, yeah, I'll take it. Yes, yeah. I'll take it. We didn't have to close down. We had to change our hours once, and it was only temporary on a Sunday. And because it was just trying to juggle it all.
Right.
But we made it through. Yeah. And with the community involvement, we just sailed right on through it. Yeah. And now I can't even remember how bad it was a year and a half ago or a year ago because of that.
Yeah. It's constantly just being in it. And I'm with you. Like as we were just talking, I kind of got to thinking, to be honest with you, like I know like it was like, I guess it's super real to everybody. It's super real to y'all, the shutdown. Right. But with I guess with business, I can't necessarily tell you the struggles and the difficulties from 3 months ago because you're constantly trying to stay one step above. Exactly. I heard a quote one time that a person used that said, a good leader doesn't always know the right answers. He's just trying to stay one step ahead of everybody else to point out the potholes along the way.
Yeah. You try to plan based on your experiences. Right. And if you're a great planner, things go well. And if you've experienced a lot of different situations, you're able to overcome those. Yeah. And as a business owner, as a business operator, as someone in charge, you have to be able to take care of that.
Yeah. No, that's good. Do you have any advice for someone that is potentially one day going to step into a role like you're in today, that has maybe not stumbled into where you're, like the progression of where you're at and the work that you've put in, but someone that desires to be a general manager of a restaurant? Do you have any advice that maybe you would share with them?
Just keep at it. Dedication. I mean, you got to be loyal to your company just as much as you want to work for a company who's loyal to you. Okay. And whenever you find that, and it may not be the first place you go to. Right. But it will get there. And your family, I mean, that's the big thing of it. Right. I mean, your family's got to be understanding that, this is what you do. Right. You work from sun up to sundown on some days. And then there's some days when you're able to take a break and spend time with your family. That's right. So, I mean, it has its ups and it has its downs, but dedication, perseverance, I mean, you just got to be there. Yeah. Be there. Can't be the instant gratification that everybody's looking for. No, you can't come in and work. Everybody, I know I've heard a lot with employees and stuff coming through. They want to come in for 3 weeks and talk about they're about the grind, and I'm about the grind, and I've been about this life, and they want to be at the top in 3 months. It's consistency is probably one of the things that I appreciate probably more today than what I would have said maybe 2, 3, 4 years ago. But someone that's consistent, that I can predict what they're going to be like tomorrow, today. Yeah. It has been so, if I could give anybody any bit of advice, it would be to be constant, be the same, to push, to be dependable. Yeah. But yeah, just stick with it. Don't feel like when you come in the door that you deserve to be at the top. Oh, absolutely. That takes years. Yeah. That's a molding. Yeah. I mean, it molds you. Right. You don't mold it. That's right. It molds you. Yeah. And that's the thing. That takes many, many years. I mean, a statue wasn't built in one day. That's right. Don't expect your business and your pocketbook to be built in one day either. That's powerful. And, you got to give. If you want to receive, you got to give. That's right. Most of the giving is more than what you receive at the beginning. Wow. And it catches up. They say, yeah, you want to do something for the community. You want to support the schools. You want to support the kids' ball teams and all that. they see that.
Right.
They hear that, they feel that.
All right.
And that all comes back on you tenfold.
That's awesome. Like, this probably the most wisdom's been dropped on any of the podcasts that I've seen so far. Do you watch Yellowstone by chance?
I do.
Big fan of Yellowstone. Rip, I don't know if you remember him. He was talking to the little guy that ended up moving in with him in the stall.
Yes.
One of the lines that probably one of my favorite lines from the show, probably one of my favorite lines of a show so far, but the bit of advice. He looked at him and he said, "You want to know the key to success? Never feel like you deserve it.
Right.
Never feel like you deserve to be here." And I've thought about it a lot of times in my life, in the position that I've been able to obtain in our company, is I don't deserve to be here. I don't deserve for the community to get behind me. I don't deserve for people to look at us and to support us. And I have to work every day to earn it, to earn that respect of the people. So anyways, I thought that was pretty cool. All right, so is there any type of special events or any type of food or anything like that you guys have coming up in the near future?
No, usually right after the holidays, it's that special crawfish season.
Okay.
So, we do all you can eats on Friday night, which is the fried shrimp, the bull shrimp, and catfish. And during crawfish season, we throw in the crawfish as well.
That's awesome.
We go grab about 400 or 500 pounds of crawfish.
What?
Throw that out in baskets by the droves.
You can't beat
Friday nights. No, you can't beat
Man,
it.
it's so good.
I mean, that place gets packed way before 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
And they're in there way after 9 o'clock on Friday night.
So put it on your calendar.
That's right.
It's coming up.
We try to start in January. It all depends on what the pricing is and how good the season is.
Okay.
But usually by February, mid-February, it's rolling.
Yeah.
And we serve that all the way through the end of June.
Corn, potatoes.
Corn, potatoes. I mean, you can get it, just the crawfish. You can add all the shrimp, the catfish to it, get your fries, coleslaw, hush puppies and cheese. Oh, yeah.
Can't beat it.
Yeah. Bring your family.
Come on out to the Hickory Pit.
Come on out to the Hickory Pit.
Get you some crawfish.
Get you some crawfish, hamburger, steak, seafood.
Can't beat it.
We got it.
That's awesome. Man, I want to tell you, I've genuinely enjoyed you being on the podcast today.
Well, thanks for having me, Ken.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
So
I was a little nervous at first. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
I'll let you know.
Hey,
I'm just not gonna watch it.
Well, the whole thing is every time before we start one, I'm feeling. So hey, I get the same way. Before we open one up, but I want to tell you, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for watching this. I hope you found it to be educational and inspirational. Thank you for watching the Made in Sims podcast. Go to the Hickory Pit and get you some of them crawfish. It will change your life. Like and subscribe, share, and watch more content. Thank you. That's it.